Hi, I am Dr. Tamara Harville, and I am here to take you on a quick tutorial of Southern New Hampshire University's Shapiro Library website. This is the go-to place when you're beginning your research, and you can find the library website pretty much anywhere on SNHU's main website. Also within your classroom, you will probably find a link in at least one place. But we're starting here on the main website. On the left-hand side, you see these quick links. A to Z database is where you're going to want to go to begin your research. Now, there are 267 databases currently with the Shapiro Library. Each database is basically your avenue to different sources, such as newspaper articles, journal articles, images, videos, whatever it is that you're needing for your research. Now, you can type in or look for the specific subject or the specific type of database, or you can find the database alphabetically. So I'm going to choose O to get us to opposing viewpoints in context. This is one of the best sources to use when you're writing about research because you want both sides of the argument in your paper. So in opposing viewpoints, if I click on that, there's various ways that you can find your topic. One is to type it up here, and another is to find it down here. So if you look, each one of these just gives the top 3, but look at this one, 100 sources of health and medicine. So I'm going to click that one and look at all these topics. Some of them might be a little bit more difficult to write about, so you have to be very selective when you're deciding on your topic. I'm going to choose Federal Nutrition Programs. I've already kind of looked through this a little bit. It gives information up here at the top, and you can click Read More. It tells you how many journals, how many are featured viewpoints, news articles, that sort of thing. And you have all these different groups down at the bottom. Notice there's more that just gives the top 3. So if I wanted more featured viewpoints, I could click on that and open up more. So when you look at a source, you might also want to look at the date to see that it is current enough in the news. And then you can click on the title of the article to open it. This tells me it was published in the Washington Post. Here's a commentary about it, questions to consider. And then here's the article. You notice at the very bottom, it gives you citations. So in my opinion, when you're doing research, instead of trying to decide immediately if you're going to use it or not, if it sounds like something you might want simply based on the commentary, either save it, email it to yourself, upload it in your OneDrive, download it, print it, however you want to save it, and then copy your citation. So I'm going to go into Word and open a new Word document and bring her over so you can see it. And if you want MLA 8th edition, you would just highlight that, right-click and copy. Pull up your blank Word. And here you want to make sure you're at Times New Roman 12 or whatever you are using. You want to change your paragraph to make sure those are all zeros and it's at hanging indent. And then you're going to go right click paste, but you must choose the one with the arrow. If you choose that one, look at the font. It goes weird and then you can't really see it, but it'll have a gray background sometimes. The difference between these two is you will lose your italics. So always use the arrow when pasting. And just go ahead and paste that. And you can minimize that as you search for more sources. If you want APA, it just depends on which class you're taking and what's required. Same thing, you can just right click and copy, pull up that blank document, and paste it with the arrow. And then they take that document down. And so you've got a copy of it and a list of your resource. So I'm going to go back and say we want this source as well. I've read the source, I've saved it or printed it, however it works best with my type of research. MLA is this one. I'm going to copy it and add it with my MLA one. Now I know this is COE and these go alphabetical, so I'm going to put it in front and paste it with the arrow and get rid of that additional line. So you can do that, and if you're printing or saving the articles, after you read them and take notes on them and stuff, then you can decide which ones you're actually going to keep. And you've already cited them, so all you have to do is then just go back and delete them. I see a double one right there. Oops. So you don't want to have to find the citation later or try to figure out how to make it. If you just copy that source citation as you're doing your research, then you've got them, and then all you have to do is say, well, I don't need this one. I'm going to get rid of it. Now, whether you use APA or MLA, you do want to kind of skim through and make sure they look good. Notice the 2 blue underlines here. That's because they don't have to be capitalized. I can take that down to a small o or a small I. See this white gap here? You don't want that. But the reason the computer does that is because it notices this as being one long word. So I use my hands to try to figure out about where I should split it. I'm going to guess right here, put my cursor and put a space, and look what it does. It pulls that back up for me. It just makes it look neater. So whether you're using APA or MLA depends on your title as well. You center it. If it's MLA, you call this a works cited, or if you just have one, it's work cited. If it's APA, it's called a references page. I can spell. So it just depends on which style you're using for whichever class. These are MLA that I have copied here, and then you just kind of skim. You want to make sure they are correct, and I can tell, well, let's change that down, that see how this is not capitalized, but this one is? I know in MLA, every first letter of the important words need to be capitalized. So sometimes you do need to make some changes for it to be exactly correct, but for the most part, they are correct. That's a long title too, so it must be an APA title. The reason it does this is because the 2 most common used citation devices are the format of MLA and APA. They're different. Written in MLA, it all gets capitalized. Written in APA, it does not. And so this one, while it was written in APA, I'm making it MLA. I know it sounds confusing, but just know the style that you need. There are various handouts and things like that that you can also access. OWL at Purdue is usually the #1 online website for citing sources. If you're in my class, I will also provide you with a variety of handouts to help you out. And so this is how you do it. These are MLA, so they are works cited, not worms. And then as you're doing research, you just keep adding to it and save this so that way you don't have to, like I said, start later. When you're ready to write your paper, just put your cursor in front and hit Control and Enter. And that puts it on its own page. And then you can just take your, take your cursor to the left and you can start writing your paper, which is usually your name, etc. up here. And then this always will be at the top. If you just do the space, 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 whatever you change in your paper, it'll move too. But if you do the Control Enter, it's always going to be on the top of its own page. So it will not move. I know there's a lot of information in this short tutorial. I don't need that anymore. But I wanted to give you just a little quick tutorial basically of how to cite your sources while you're searching for your sources to save you some time later when it's time to actually write your paper. If you have any questions, reach out to your instructor, which might be me, and good luck and thank you.